The build-up has been intense. The rivalry amongst today's contestants has been profoundly intense. And the competition we'll witness today is going to be furiously intense as well. Welcome along to the 11th Udaan Business Leadership Quiz. The quiz train moves from the east to the west. While yesterday's quiz turned out to be a two-horse race, today's quiz will see battle of the thoroughbreds. And I am your host and quizmaster for the day, Ajay Poonia. We'll begin the program by thanking our sponsors. The Udaan Business Quiz is presented by Steel Authority of India, National HRD Network, Rajarshi Chapter, and National HRD Network. Our associate sponsor is NTPC Limited. Our zonal sponsors are Tata Communications and SMS Group. Our national prize sponsors are Hexagon and MD India, and zonal prize sponsors UPRNNL and Sarvesh Refractory. Thank you to each one of us. Now, join me in welcoming our 6 clever contestants who have weathered a treacherous journey of 2 qualifying rounds amongst the finest of the West. As participant 1, from Sale Bhilai is Nivesh Vijayan. Joining him, also from Bhilai Steel Plant Sale, is Umesh Malayat. And then completing our lineup for teams from Bhilai Steel Plant is Shruti Menon. On the other side is participant number 4 from IIM Ahmedabad is Shantanu Sharma. Our 5th and penultimate participant from Capgemini is Rajarshi Chanda. And finally, completing the lineup for the West Zone final is Francis Rodriguez from HDFC Live. Welcome all of you. It's a hugely attractive, keenly contested competition. Neither one of them can afford to falter, for soon enough we'll have chasers on their tail. Right, I am layering bricks upon bricks, hoping for a, wait, scratch that, looking forward to a fine contest. But before I begin unleashing the questions, I'd like to welcome the pillar of strength of Udaan, Dr. Kamakshi Raman, Executive Director, HRD, Management Training Institute, SAIL. She's also the President of National HRD Network, Rajarshi Chapter. Ma'am, please.
Thank you, Ajay. Good evening to all of you. उड़ान तो भरना है, चाहे कई बार गिरना पड़े. उड़ान तो भरना है, चाहे कई बार गिरना पड़े. सपनों को पूरा करना है, चाहे खुद से भी लड़ना पड़े. With that, very warm welcome to all the finalists of today and of course the participants, the audience members. This is 11th Udaan Quiz Competition, Business Leadership Competition, and as you would all know, Ranchi is one of the small chapters of National HRD Network. We had started this competition in 2011. That time we had hardly 26 teams, and today after 10 years, 2011 Udaan has 360 teams, and it's become a competition of national repute. I'm really proud and happy that all the success, behind the success, the team members of Udaan team who have really worked very hard. With that, congratulations to all of you. You are the 6 finalists of the Western region. And I'm sure you're all geared up for the day. Remember, always enjoy the game. The prizes are only incidental. They are just symbolic. What is important for all of you, I'm sure this is how you've been handling all your quiz events. Just enjoy the game. The result will automatically happen. Compete always with a very, very positive spirit. Best wishes again, once again. And over to you, Ajay, to make another interesting round of Udaan quizzing. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Kamakshi Raman's words will certainly resonate with each of the participants, for they promise to put forward an inspiring performance. So, participants, if you're all set, your objective today is to be amongst the top 2. But of course, the fact that you managed to qualify for the zonal round, you will receive a prize of rupees 5,000 each. But if you can shoulder the expectations of your friends, family, and colleagues and finish amongst the top 2, you will, like I said earlier, qualify for the final and join Capgemini and Rourkela Steel Plant, and also be rewarded with rupees 25,000 and rupees 15,000 as well. So, as the saying goes, show me the incentive and I'll show you the outcome. I've put forth the incentive, and now we witness patiently as the scramble for the outcome begins. And finally, to our lovely audience who are watching us, well, you can participate alongside and win some prizes too, like Rahul, Shashank, and Dipayan from yesterday. All you need to do, if you don't already follow us on Twitter, do follow us at National HRD, at NHRDN. Listen to the audience question that I'll be asking after every round and reply with your answer to @NHRDN on the same tweeted question along with the hashtag Udaan 2021. Please keep in mind, hashtag Udaan 2021. And there are, of course, gift vouchers for the winner as well. The winner will be the fastest correct answer. Right. So audience, I look forward to you joining in for these audience questions as well. Time now to begin the quiz. 4 rounds in all. And as a certain Mr. Shastri at a party says, it's time for round 1. Round 1 is a crossword. There'll be 6 questions that I will be asking, all of them on the buzzer. 15 seconds of time is what you have per question, and you'll get 3 buzzers per question. So 3 different participants can attempt the same question. If it passes across all of them, first on the buzzer gets +10, second on the buzzer gets +7, third on the buzzer gets a +4, and a flat -5 for a wrong answer on the buzzer. Right, so if we're all set, let me show you what the crossword looks like that you have to solve today. So this is the crossword that you have to solve. 6 questions in all. We'll start with the first one. It's a rather long 10-letter answer that I'm looking for. On your screen, here is your question. A certain sub-10-minute trip in the UK is the world's last such commercial service. While it began in 1965, it is till date the fastest way to get across a strait. As a means of transport, it was a British invention. In fact, it was invented at the location where it still serves from the 1950s and was considered to be futuristic, but its failure could be attributed to factors such as fuel inefficiency, noise, maintenance cost, and lack of comfort. What transport medium is this? On the buzzer is Francis Rodriguez. Francis.
Is this a Concorde?
The Concorde for 10 letters. I'm afraid, Francis, that is incorrect. That's a -5. Passes to the next one on the buzzer, and that's Shantanu from IIM Ahmedabad.
So I'll go with supersonic. So it's the
supersonic. A sub 10-minute trip in the UK itself. A supersonic would perhaps take less time than that. That's a -5 to Shantanu as well. -5 to 2 participants, Shantanu as well as Francis. That's not the answer that I was looking for. The answer, it's the only one of its kind. This is where it began. This is the hovercraft, right? Invented by Saunders Roe. It's a company from Isle of Wight, and it goes from, I think, Portsmouth to Isle of Wight, traverses that distance. It's the fastest across these 2 places. It's the world's only surviving hovercraft commercial service. That's a -5 to 2 of you. Let's move on to the next question. Here is, let me first place the hovercraft in the crossword. So we'll move across to 2 down now. It's a 5-letter answer on your screen. Here it comes. ISO 216 specifies the international standard for something used in most countries in the world today, defined by A and B series. It follows the Lichtenberg ratio, having a property that halving the size does not change the ratio. However, early in the 20th century, it was introduced as DIN 476 standard in Germany. What am I describing here? On the buzzer is Nivesh from Bhilai.
I think these are the paper sizes. So PAPER.
Is correct. That's the answer that I was looking for. Thank you for spelling it as well. This is indeed paper sizes. The value of Lichtenberg ratio is 1 by square root of 2. So that's how A1, A2, A3, A4 sizes of papers are identified. That's well done, Nivesh. Since you got it right on the first time around, you get a plus 10. So plus 10 is what Nivesh begins with after, a couple of you took negatives in the last question. Let me place paper in the crossword. Now we move on to 3 across. It's a 5-letter answer. Fourth letter is O on your screen now. Blank routing is a technique for anonymous communication over a computer network. The messages are encapsulated in layers of encryption. The data is transmitted to a series of network nodes, each of which peels away a single layer, uncovering the data's next destination. When the final layer is decrypted, the message arrives at its destination. What is the edible name for such a technique? On the buzzer first is Shantanu.
I'll say onion.
You will say onion, and I will say plus 10 for that. That's the answer. That's well done there, Shantanu. Good answer. So it is called onion routing. That's the technique of maintaining privacy over computer networks. That's well done there. Shantanu from IIM Ahmedabad collected a negative earlier, and now he got a plus 10. That's well done. Let me place onion in the crossword. Now we go to 4 down. It's a 6-letter answer. I'll show you a visual first. Take a look at the visual. If you think you know the answer just by looking at the visual, feel free to hit the buzzer. But I will still read out the question. Here it is on your screen now. And my question is, this is a Belgian company that was founded in 1863 by 2 brothers. Their process helped manufacture soda ash from brine and limestone and was so successful that the company was the world's largest MNC before the First World War. The company, however, is better known for certain conferences that they conducted, and after the 1927 edition, 17 of the 29 attendees went on to win Nobel Prizes, no less. Which company is this? First up on the buzzer is Nivesh from Bhilai.
Okay, so this is Solvay, 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 after which the process is named Solvay.
Is correct. That's the answer. That's well done, Nivesh. Couple of answers coming from you. The brothers in question being Ernest and Alfred Solvay. Those were the brothers. That's well done. Nivesh gets you another 10-pointer. Yeah, you got PAPER. Now you get SOLVAY. That's well done, Nivesh. 2 answers from you. Let me place Solvay in the crossword. Now we go to 5 across. 2 R's are visible. It's a 6-letter answer. On your screen is the question. Look at the visual. And my question is, the early slide rules had variety of useful scales and tables on one side and a measuring rule on the other. However, to do calculations accurately, one needed a way to align the 2 scales perfectly perpendicularly. Thus, a sliding member was invented that traced a line across the rule. What term was used for this indicator or runner that still exists in modern technology? It's a term that still exists in modern technology. Of course, if you're using these rulers, you're using the same thing. But in the modern technology sense also, it's a term that still exists, still waiting for somebody to hit the buzzer. 2 seconds left. And there is no one. Right? Nobody attempting to answer this question. The answer that I was looking for, and I'm guessing you will regret missing this, is a cursor. Right? It's called a cursor. You can see grimaces on the face of almost all the participants. A bad miss, perhaps, for their caliber. But since nobody gained points, so we will move on to our final question of this round. Let me place cursor. That's where it goes. Now there are 2 A's. Right? It's an answer that you can give in plural form or singular form, but in the crossword, it's only there in singular form. Okay? So it's only there in singular form. Okay, here is my question, the final one for round one. Rabbits cost the country of Australia severe land degradation and soil erosion, costing the country upward of $1 billion. Queensland is the only state free of rabbits and makes keeping rabbits as pets illegal. There are only 3 exceptions to this rule. 1, scientists for research. 2, circuses. And 3, you have to tell me what other public entertainers. Francis on the buzzer from HDFC Live.
Magician.
Magician is absolutely perfect. Pulling out a rabbit from the hat is Francis. That's the answer. That's well done. It is indeed a magician or magician. So those are the only 3 professionals who are allowed to keep rabbits in the state of Queensland in Australia: circuses, scientists for research, and magicians. That's well done. Fine quizzing there. All the build-up that I did in the early part of this, when we began this quiz, is living up to the billing. And I hope it's a trend that continues as we move on to our second round. This round is called Challengers Deep. There's 1 question to each participant, starting with Nivesh. Nivesh gets the first question. Francis gets the 6th question. 20 seconds of time in all, but divided into 2. The first 10 seconds will be for the others to present a challenge to you. The next set of 10 seconds is for you to take a decision whether you want to accept the challenge or reject the challenge, and then subsequently either give the answer or wait for the challenger to give the answer. If there's no challenge, you don't have to worry about the negatives. Give me an answer, take 10 points if you're right. No negatives if you're wrong. But if there is a challenge, if you accept the challenge, you are answering for +10, -10. Or if you're scared of the negatives and if you're not too confident of your own answer, you can say, I reject the challenge. If you reject, moves on to the challenger. The challenger is answering for +10 and -10. If they give a wrong answer, question will come back to the direct participant for +5 and no negatives. If you don't give me a right answer, then there are 3 other participants on the buzzer who can still try for +5 and -5. I hope that's clear. We will start with our first question to Nivesh. Nivesh, you don't have to hit the buzzer, while other 5 participants, you're on the buzzer. Nivesh, if you are ready. Please unmute Nivesh.
Yes, please.
Here's your question. An IIT Kanpur alumnus and a BITS Pilani alumnus started by testing their concept for a tech platform in real life. They organized gaming sessions for friends with a leaderboard on a blackboard. As word spread, players increased and they started charging 5 rupees entry fee. Realizing its potential, they founded their company in 2018 and became a unicorn amongst the 30+ unicorns we had this year. Last year, they entered a different territory. After a no-show for bids from any of the traditional players in the domain, they won the bid at almost the base price for 2020 to 2023. 2-part question. Which company and what did they win the bid for? Nivesh, there is a challenge coming from Shantanu from IIM Ahmedabad. Do you accept the challenge or do you reject the challenge?
I'll reject the challenge. I'll give him a chance to answer.
All right, Shantanu, what is your answer for +10, -10?
I'll say this is Dream 11 and they bid for IPL.
Dream 11 and IPL, I'm afraid, Shantanu, that is incorrect. That's a -10. The question remains open on the buzzer, but for the moment, it goes back to Nivesh for +5 and no negatives.
I'll say this is CRED and the upcoming World Cup.
CRED and the upcoming World Cup. All right, that is incorrect as well. There's nobody else on the buzzer. You were both in the vicinity of the answer. Did not get the, what did they win the bid for right? Nor did you get the company right, but you were still in the vicinity. The answer is Mobile Premier League and the BCCI kit sponsor, right? So they won it. They won the bid for it at almost the base price, since now the regulars, the usuals, the FMCGs bid for it. This is MPL. Like I said, they would, open it up for 5 rupees entry for friends and everybody else as the word spread. And then they decided, oh, this seems to be an interesting concept. And they made it more professional, more corporatized. Well done to me for not getting an answer from anyone, all these smart participants. All right, next question. -10 to Shantanu there. Next question will be direct to Umesh from Bhilai. Umesh, we haven't heard your voice till now. It'd be nice to hear your voice now.
Yeah, I am here.
Okay, Umesh, here is your question. You're well aware of the rules. Again, a two-part question. Anybody interested in taking it on the challenge or on the buzzer needs to give me both parts. Couple of years ago, this person was facing a liquidity crunch in a business he founded. Owing to the liquidity crunch, he made a deal with Larsen & Toubro where he sold 20.3% stake in another business. Although a few months later, he's believed to have committed suicide. My two-part question is, who's he and what business did he sell his stake in? You have a challenge coming from Rajarshi from Capgemini. Umesh?
Yeah, if I am answering, I need to get both the parts right.
That is correct.
Okay.
Quick, take a decision.
And if I accept the challenge, I'll get a -10 if I part answer it.
Yes. I need a full answer or nothing. Quick,
Okay,
Umesh. Otherwise, I'm
I'll
going to
reject.
Rajarshi anyway.
I'll reject it.
So you're going to Rajarshi. Rajarshi,
Yeah.
what is your answer?
Yeah, so this is VG Siddhartha, and I am struggling to recall. And I'll say the second part is Cafe Coffee Tea. I cannot.
All right. That is incorrect, Rajarshi. That's a -10. Goes back to Umesh.
So that's what I know. It's VG Siddhartha, but the business. Maybe is Coffee Estates.
All right. Passes, no negatives, Umesh. To the first on the buzzer, that's Shantanu for +5 and -5. Both parts, please.
The person obviously Mr. VG Siddhartha, and I think he sold his stake in Mindtree.
Is correct. That's the answer that I was looking for. Absolutely. That's well done. He is indeed VG Siddhartha of Cafe Coffee Day. I categorically said in another business he sold the stake, and still, unfortunately, he's believed to have committed suicide. And L&T bought his shares to acquire Mindtree. That's the answer. That's well done, Shantanu. It gets you a +5, a -10 to Rajarshi, and nothing to Umesh.
Umesh, I got. I got out of the buzzer, Ajay. So let me just log in again. Sure.
Yeah, sure. Right. Next question will be for Shruti. Shruti, if you're ready. Rajarshi, the moment you come in, just press the buzzer once so that.
Yes, please.
Shruti, if you're ready. Yeah, we haven't heard your voice either till now. Hopefully, we'll get some right answers from you from here on. Again, next question will be a two-part question.
Yes,
so
buzzer.
whoever's hitting the buzzer. Thanks, Rajarshi.
Yeah.
Rajarshi, number 5, by the way.
I'm sorry. Let me.
It's okay. It's fine. Rajarshi, you're number 5. All right.
Okay. Fine.
All right. Shruti, so two-part question, and everybody else two-part question. If you're interested on the buzzer, you need to give me both parts. Here is your question, Shruti. A reckless stuntman who once jumped off the Brooklyn Bridge and survived, he was Stephen Brody. Before the advent of a certain technology, he gave his name to what automotive equipment which was potentially harmful to the driver, and what powerful technology is rendering it obsolete, at least in cars? Shruti, you have a challenge coming from Shantanu.
Okay.
I need both parts.
I reject the challenge.
All right, Shantanu, what is your answer? Please give me both parts. Please unmute.
So it's the automotive equipment would be steering. So I think he gave his name. So gives his name to the steering part, and because driverless cars are going to come, so that will not be needed. So the problem of steering will not be needed. So Brody knob, I think, is the steering part. The to the automotive equipment is the steering part, and because driverless cars will be there, so that problem won't be there.
All right, that is incorrect. Passes to Shruti, -10, Shantanu.
Sir, I would like to guess that is it airbags, and in the driverless car, since it's considered to be much better than human reaction time, it is now becoming obsolete.
All right, that is incorrect. Both of you thought in about driverless cars. That was not the answer that I was looking for, although Shantanu did get part of the answer correct. This is indeed a Brody knob, which was used before power steering, right? So that's the answer that I was looking for, not driverless cars. I was looking for power steering. I needed you to say, and I categorically said, what powerful technology, so it was right there for you for the taking. Unfortunately, Shantanu and Shruti, both of you went in the direction of driverless cars, although arguably that makes it obsolete as well. But specifically for the sake of this answer that I was looking for was power steering. So -10, Shantanu, nothing to Shruti. Okay, Shantanu, your direct question, you're having a skip rope on the leaderboard. You get an answer right, then you get an answer wrong, then you get an answer right. I hope the last one, since you got it wrong, hopefully this time you'll get it right. Shantanu, please unmute. Okay, it is your question. Two-part question, but again, both are closely related. So I'm hoping that if you get one, you will certainly get the other. Here's your question, Shantanu. Everybody else on the buzzer. In 1966, the Hawaiian garment industry, while trying to sell more shirts, came up with an idea to encourage employees to wear Hawaiian shirts to office. By the 1980s, the idea started to fade. The public relations officer for Levi's claimed that the guys didn't know what to wear when they shed their coats and ties. Also, baby boomers were getting older and flabbier and weren't really buying Levi's jeans. This led to a new brand being born. My question is, which brand, and what is this concept or trend that I told you the story of? There's a challenge for you, Shantanu, from Francis.
I would like to answer this.
All right, for +10, -10, your answer is?
So this is the concept of casual Friday, and Aloha shirts came into being like this.
So the brand is Aloha shirts and the concept is casual Fridays.
Yeah.
That's a -10, Shantanu. Question passes to Francis. Since you were the challenger, you're answering for +10, -10.
I had the same answer, so let me kind of cook up a new answer. I'll say that, yeah, this is Friday dressing and Alan Solly.
Alan Solly Friday dressing. Francis -10. Passes to Nivesh. +5 and -5.
I'll guess this is the concept of like bleeding madras fabric and all. It gets changes. The color changes once you wash it and all. So that is what I'm looking at.
And the brand?
Bleeding madras.
Okay, all right. That's incorrect. I'm afraid Nivesh gets you a -5, -5, -10, Francis, and a -10 to Shantanu as well. Yeah, unfortunately, 3 of you collecting negatives. The answer, you were right about casual Fridays, but the brand in question is Dockers. The brand in question is Dockers. That was the one that was created, and casual Fridays as the story or the concept in question. Oh yeah, that was rather unfortunate. Next up is Rajarshi from Capgemini. Rajarshi, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
That's your question. Two-part question again, closely related. Let me rephrase. A lot more closely related than the last question. Here's your question. On top is a Russian scientist who coined a certain term in a paper he presented at the World Fair in Paris. And below is an American businessman and engineer who sold and promoted cars and consumer electronics in the US. As a pioneer in some forms of commercials, with his oddball madman persona, he's often credited with coining the abbreviation of the same term that the Russian scientist coined. What term and the abbreviation? So if you really know the term, you know the abbreviation, you know the abbreviation, you know the term. It's like I said.
What do you want?
I want the term that was coined by the Russian scientist and thus the abbreviation. Francis has presented a challenge, Rajarshi.
Yeah, I have no clue, so I will let Francis answer this.
Right, Francis, take it away.
I'll say buy one, get one off and bog off.
Is incorrect. That's a -10. Goes back to Rajarshi.
Buy one, get one free, sir.
That's fine. That's also incorrect. Rajarshi. No negatives?
No, I will pass this. I have no clue on this one.
You'll have to pass this. The answer that I was looking for is television and TV. Right, so this was the Russian scientist Konstantin Persky who coined the term television at the World Fair in Paris. And of course, the abbreviation, like I said, if you know the term, you know the abbreviation, by Earl William Munns, who happened to be an oddball madman persona that he presented on his show. So television and TV is the answer. Hard luck. -10 Francis. Next question will be for Francis. Hopefully you'll get those 10 points back. Right, Francis, if you're ready. Two-part question again on your screen. This is the lead image from a certain article which talks about how an ex-CAG was on the board of a bank and was recently asked to step down. My question is, who is this ex-CAG and which bank? He was asked to step down from the board of the bank. Who's this ex-CAG? You have a challenge coming from Shantanu. Francis?
I know one part, so I'll let Shantanu answer.
Shantanu, go for it.
I really hope I'm right this time. I'll go with Vinod Rai for the Computer Auditor General and IDFC is the bank.
Vinod Rai and IDFC Bank. That is absolutely correct. That's the answer that I was looking for. Those were the colors of the IDFC Bank brand as well. Although, you know, it's changed now. Then IDFC First is what they are called with the maroonish logo. So that's the answer. It is indeed IDFC Bank and Vinod Rai. That's well done, Shantanu. Gets you a +10, some vindication for all the points that you lost earlier. We will move on to our next round, but before that, to our lovely audience who's been waiting patiently for some audience questions. Now, here's your first audience question. You know the drill. I'll ask the question. If you think you know the answer, head to Twitter on the very same tweet where you see this question being posted by the handle @NHRDN. Just post your answer along with the hashtag Udaan2021 and then wait with bated breath as we announce the winners. My question. The first such tax was introduced in 9th century CE by Emperor Augustus. It was called the Lex Papia Poppaea. In 1695, the English Parliament passed the tax to raise funds for war on France. The tax raised little revenue and was abolished in 1706. Even Mussolini enacted the tax, but it lasted only 16 years. My question is, what tax is this that Oscar Wilde supported, for he felt some people were happier than others? Head over to Twitter if you think you know the answer. And even if you don't know the answer, just head to Twitter, follow NHRDN because there are more audience questions coming. Right, I'll give you about 10 seconds. And then we'll move on to our third round, second half of this quiz. But before that, we will take a look at the scores. Just waiting a few seconds for the audience members to come back. Right, so we're all set to take a look at the scores halfway into the quiz, and this is what the scoreboard looks like. Nivesh is currently leading with a score of 15 points. Then we have Umesh and Shruti both yet to open their account. Unfortunately, after that, we have everybody else in the negatives. It's Shantanu at -10, Rajarshi at -10, and Francis at -15. Those are the scores. Hopefully, the trend will reverse itself as we move on to our second half of this quiz, starting with round number 3 on your screen now. This round is called How's That? We will pair you up in descending order of scores, but because there's a lot of ties that are occurring already, I'll tell you how we'll pair you up. So when I pair you up, one becomes the batter, the other becomes the bowler. The batter gets a question, that will be picked by the bowler from the given topics. You'll be given certain topics. The bowler picks a topic. You have 15 seconds of time as the batter to give the answer. If you know the answer, you get 10 points. But if you don't, you wait. Question passes to the bowler. The bowler gives the right answer. Bowler gets 5. Batter gets -5. But if bowler misses out, none of you, neither the batter nor the bowler, loses points. The question goes to any of the other 3 teams, other participants on the buzzer for +5 and -5. As simple as that. Let me quickly tell you the pairing that I will be doing. So first pair will be Nivesh versus Umesh. Second one will be Shruti versus Shantanu. And the third match will be Rajarshi versus Francis. So that's the order that we'll follow. Starting with Umesh, you'll have to pick a topic for Nivesh. Don't pick a very tricky topic because, like I said, question will come back to you if Nivesh doesn't answer.
Okay, I'll go with food delivery.
Food delivery for Nivesh. Nivesh, if you're ready.
Sam.
Here's your question. Others on the buzzer. Earlier this year, Impresario Handmade Restaurants brought a change in their food delivery plan. The chain had till then only operated a personal delivery platform. So, in a pilot project, they formed a symbiotic partnership to empower and enable a delivery platform that had been impacted by the lockdowns as well for a few months. Whom did they partner with? So these are some of the brands by Impresario. Nivesh, what is your answer? No negatives, at least not now. 4 seconds.
They partnered with the Lulu Group.
Is incorrect. Passes to Umesh. Umesh, can't give you so much time. Passes. No negatives to either one of you. On the buzzer first is Shantanu.
They partnered with Mumbai Dabbawalas.
They partnered with Bombay Dabbawalas. That is absolutely perfect. That's the answer. That's well done. So they did not partner with the usual suspects. Although one may argue, Dabbawalas are usual suspects as well. So, but they did partner with none of the modern day delivery tech platforms. They partnered with the more traditional century-old Mumbai Dabbawalas. Absolutely brilliant. Shantanu, getting it right. A question for the West Zone from the West gets you a +5, Shantanu. Well done. Now, Nivesh gets to pick a topic for Umesh.
I'll choose NASA for him.
You'll choose NASA for him. Here is your question, Umesh. Umesh, if you're ready.
Yes.
NASA's space probe to Jupiter called Juno carried with it 3 figurines made of aluminium. 2 of them were of Roman gods Jupiter and his wife Juno. Which Italian was the inspiration behind the 3rd figurine? And you see them here. So identify the 3rd one. Which Italian? No answer?
No.
I will move on to Nivesh. Nivesh? You're muted. Okay, I will move on, Nivesh, since you're not giving me any answer. Question passes to first on the buzzer. Nivesh, too late. Passes to Shantanu.
So the Italian is Galileo Galilei.
Is correct. Absolutely. This is indeed Galileo. Wonderful answer there, Shantanu. Back-to-back answers, pouncing on all the opportunities that are left, begging by the other 2 participants for the moment. Collected 5 points the last time around, collected 5 points this time as well. Well done, Shantanu. That's a +5 to you. Umesh and Nivesh, you have to unmute yourself quickly. I can't be giving you so much time. Don't mute yourself at all if it's a struggle. We'll move on to our next match between Shruti and Shantanu. So Shruti, Shantanu, you will have to pick a topic for Shruti first.
I don't need to buzz right now, na?
No, you don't have to buzz. It will come back to you if Shruti doesn't answer.
I'll choose old pictures.
You will pick old pictures. Shruti, this is for you. Identify this corporate lawyer who represented FMCG giants like Coke and Pepsi in 2002 for large-scale vandalism along the mountain road leading to Rohtang Pass, where rock faces were defaced by advertisements, some of them also nailed to the trees along the stretch. Can you identify this gentleman? The one in white shirt, by the way.
No, fast.
No answer. Goes to Shantanu. +5 if you're right.
Arun Jaitley.
Say that again.
Arun Jaitley.
Is correct. That's the answer. That's well done. This is indeed Arun Jaitley. That's 3 consecutive answers coming from Shantanu. That's another 5-pointer for you, Shantanu. But apart from just the 5 to you, that's a -5 to Shruti as well. So when the bowler gets the right answer, the batter gets a -5, the bowler gets a +5. Well done, Shantanu. +5 to you yet again.
Ajay, how much is it on the buzzer? Is it 10 or 5?
On the buzzer is +5, -5.
+5, -5. Okay, perfect.
Shruti, please pick a topic for Shantanu. But on the direct, it is +10 and no negatives.
I pick April Fool's campaign.
April Fool's campaign. Here's your question, Shantanu. It's a 2-part question, but a closely related 2 parts. And let me say, closer than television and TV. Okay? Right, so it's really close. You'll figure that out why. All right, here's your question, Shantanu. Please unmute. A week before April Fool's Day, a particular corporation agreed to alter its identity. April Fool's Day this year. So a particular corporation agreed to alter its identity by modifying a single letter in their name to reflect their commitment towards EVs. It didn't go as intended, and the media descended on the company's headquarters to confirm the move, which was later revealed to be fake by the company. What changed? So you have to tell me which company and what one letter change did they make, in order to reflect the commitment towards electric vehicles.
Okay, so the company is Volkswagen and they changed it to Volkswagen.
It's absolutely perfect. That's the answer. That's well done there. Shantanu, have you given me all the 4 answers till now? Yes, you have. You've accumulated 5, 5, and 5, and finally you take a +10. Absolutely brilliant there, Shantanu. Well done. So, like I said, it's closer than television and TV. This time you only had to change 1 alphabet. Right, so Volkswagen became Volkswagen. That was just a April Fool's, prank that they're having. Good answer there, Shantanu. That gets you a +10. Right, that match is over as well. Next question, next match will be between Rajarshi and Francis. Francis, please pick a topic for Rajarshi.
Please reset the buzzer.
I will. Rajarshi.
Sorry, do I pick for Francis or does
No, Francis will pick for you.
Okay.
I'll pick YouTube policies.
YouTube policies. Right. Here's your question, Rajarshi. For some time, the image on the top, this description was seen below which specific YouTube video, and when this description sort of gained traction, everybody was talking about it. The user, the one who uploaded the video, changed the caption to the one below. So there's a recent YouTube policy of removing dislikes. This user did not like it, and so he said this. Which specific YouTube video? No answer coming from Rajarshi. Question.
Okay. Yeah.
No answer. Question goes to Francis.
So this is the founders of the YouTube. The video was them at the zoo and with the elephant, with the animals at the zoo. So this is the founder of YouTube.
The founder of YouTube not quite agreeing with YouTube's own policies.
Yes, and they were disliking the founder at the zoo. That video, the first video of YouTube, is basically
correct. Absolutely, that's the answer. Well done. This was Javed Karim, the first ever YouTube video called "Me at the Zoo." Right. So this is the description that you could see, and when a lot of people started talking about it, so he changed the description to just listen to the users, something to that effect. That's a good answer there. Francis gets you a +5, and Rajarshi, unfortunately, you lose 5 points as a result. Right. Might I add, Shantanu was also interested in this question, but it didn't pass to him. So we break the streak of answers from him. Right. Rajarshi, you get to pick a topic, the final one for Francis.
I'll pick Indian monetary history.
Indian monetary history. Francis, this is for you. Tell me what's happening here. Here's a 1950s poetic exchange between the finance secretary and the RBI governor. Here goes. So let us not vie to keep alive the pie, and without a plaintive cry, peacefully let her die. The RBI governor of that time then concurred, let not the press of men disturb a museum piece. When life's extinct, oh, then the pie shall lie in peace. My question is, what were they both building a case for?
So the answer that I have is that there used to be the pi system, and from the pi system we went to the paisa and the naya paisa. So basically, that otherwise, whatever art pi, chart pi, in those pieces. So to abolish the pi system and move to the naya paisa system.
Is correct. That's the answer. Well done there, Francis. Good answer. So essentially, decimalization of rupee or the naya paisa. 3 pi was 1 pice, 4 pice is 1 anna, 16 anna was 1 rupee. And I'm, in those days when our literacy rate wasn't that high, I wonder how people calculated all of this. So that's the answer. That's well done. Francis gets you a +10 and brings us to the end of the third round as well. We'll take a look at the scores. But before that, let me ask a question to the audience. So audience, if you're all set, you know the drill. You have to go head over to Twitter and give an answer to the very same question that I will ask right now on that tweet thread itself. Your question is, what word first appeared in French and in English in the early 17th century and originally denoted a periodical publication giving an account of current events? It was named after the Venetian coin, as the publication offered news worth the same coin that I'm speaking of. So what word is it that I'm looking for? First appearing in French, then in English, and originally denoting a periodical publication giving an account of current events. Take 10 seconds, then quickly come back after giving a correct answer so that we can tell you where we are on the scoreboard, and then we'll move on to our final round. Right, let's take a look at the scores. Scores as follows after the end of 3 rounds. So it's become very interesting now. A couple of you at 15 points each. That's Nivesh and Shantanu. Both of you at 15 points apiece. Francis, thanks to back-to-back answers towards the end, you start from scratch before we move on to the final round. And Umesh, you're also at 0. Shruti at -5. And Rajarshi, things are not looking good for you right now. But all that can change as we move on to our final round, where you stand to win a possible 100 points, right? So 5 questions on the buzzer. This round is called Triple Trouble. 15 seconds of time that you will have on the buzzer. Points, 10 points if you give me a right answer, -10 if you give me a wrong answer. You have the option of stepping up, +20 if you right, -20 if you're wrong. And you also have the option of stepping down if you're not too sure of the answer. +5 if you're right, -5 if you are wrong. Very important. Please say the word step up or step down before you actually give the answer. Otherwise, I'll give you points based on default scoring. There will only be visuals and no text that will be visible on screen. I will, however, read out the text. If you think you know the answer by looking at the visuals or while I'm in the middle of the text, you can feel free to interrupt me, hit the buzzer, and then either step up or step down or play for default and give me your answer. Right, so we will start. First question, common to everyone. First of 5 questions on your screen now. originally named as Delight and then President, before it was rebranded to be named after? On the buzzer is Rajarshi from Capgemini.
I will step up. This is
You will step up. And your answer is?
This is Premier Padmini.
Right. My question. Originally named as Delight, then as President, before it was rebranded to be named after the legendary Queen of Mewar, what Indian icon counted many film stars and politicians as its customers, but required a waiting period of years? And although one is made to believe that most of the production was for a unique purpose in an Indian city, it was merely a CSR activity. For all these sales were heavily subsidized. The Indian city in question being obviously Mumbai, with all their cabs, and they all drive the Premier Padmini. That's the answer that I was looking for. That's well done. So that was the Queen of Mewar, Rani Padmini, from the Amar Chitra Katha title. Good answer there, Rajarshi. Perhaps my little pep talk, when I said that, things are not looking too good, you decided to reverse the trend, stepped up into the action, and took a plus 20 as a result. That's well done, Rajarshi. 4 questions to go, 80 points to be won, still anybody's game. 2 participants from the West Zone qualify for the national final. Here is question number 2. Released just before the new year 2019, this is a special dog kennel created by Ford, borrowing the technology from their Edge or Endura SUV. On the buzzer is Shantanu from IIM Ahmedabad.
So I would like to
say that again, Shantanu.
I would like to step up.
Okay.
So these pods cancel the noise.
These pods cancel the noise.
Cancel the noise. So noise cancelling.
Got it. My question, it is among the series of inventions called interventions that apply automotive technologies to solve everyday problems. This kennel would help our canine friends around festivities. How? Shantanu says that they would cancel the noise. He decided to step up and he gets 20 points as a result. That's well done, Shantanu. Lovely answer there. So noise cancellation, soundproofing, same thing. Good answer. Gets you a plus 20, Shantanu. 3 questions to go. Here is question number 3. These people were called Kufeci. Kufeci. These people were commonly seen in the 60s Turkey with huge baskets on their backs, which now extinct job, mostly in the evenings, for Kufelik Olmaks did they perform? The Kufecis performed a now extinct job, mostly in the evenings, for Kufelik Olmaks. On the buzzer is Rajarshi.
I think I'll step down. I'll just step down.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is a guess. What I'll say is these are the basically this guy is calling for the evening namaz. Okay,
is incorrect. That's a -5. Passes to the next one on the buzzer, and that is Shantanu.
I would like to step up.
Okay.
So the person in the basket is actually drunk. So the person who's carrying his job is to take him back, take the drunkards back.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Right. There is some acknowledgement from the other competitors. That is absolutely correct. That's the answer. Carry drunkards to their homes. Kufelik Olmak basically means a person who's needed to be carried home in a basket. So they do have a term for that. That's how rich that language is. That's well done. Shantanu, the fact that you stepped up means you get a plus 20. Rajarshi, well done on stepping down. You don't lose too much. You pretty much in the game still. That's a -5 only, right? So Rajarshi gets a -5. Shantanu, however, gets a plus 20. 2 questions remain. Here is, so 2-part question. I want you to tell me who he is and what was the more recent recognition that he achieved, right? Which I will describe for that recognition. Here's your question. In his PhD thesis, he was trying to study how veteran status affected an individual's future earnings. More specifically, he was trying to see if serving in the army negatively impacted future earning potential. And for that, he got lucky as young men were being randomly drafted for the Vietnam War, recently recognized for his methodological contributions to the analysis of causal relationships? On the buzzer is Shantanu.
I'll play it at base value.
All right.
This is Joshua Ingrist, this year's Nobel winner. One of the 3 Nobel winners, I mean.
Is absolutely perfect. You did not decide to double. You wanted to play for default, gets you a +10. That's well done there, Shantanu. You've really stepped up, pushed the pedal to the metal in the second half of this quiz. Lovely answer there. He is indeed Joshua Ingrist, one of the 3 Nobel Economics Prize winners. And the reason why he was given that prize was for methodological contributions to the analysis of causal relationships, not casual relationships. Right, good answer there. Shantanu gets you a +10. And now to the final question of the West Zone, depending on where you are on the scoreboard and what your desires are, right? Decide to opt for the last one or not. It's your decision. Here it is. In the International Code of Signals, Q is a square yellow flag. In foreign waters flown separately, it is hoisted. On the buzzer is Rajarshi.
Yeah, I don't have an option, so I will step up on this.
Okay.
This is the flag for quarantine. When the ship is
flag for quarantine.
Quarantine, yeah. When especially was used in COVID, when I think it was the Sea Princess, when there were infected patients on board and they were not allowed to dock. So it's the flag that they hoisted. This is basically the flag of the distress for quarantine that they follow.
Time to put a full stop there, Rajarshi. I need to continue. Okay. Right. I'll complete my question. There's nobody else on the buzzer yet. In the International Code of Signals, Q is a square yellow flag. In foreign waters flown separately, it is hoisted when a ship entering ports denotes, I have a clean bill of health, but I'm liable to blank. Till the early 20th century, the Lima flag, which is the black and yellow square flag, denoted the same thing. But recently, in a nod to past practices, some ordinances in North America were enacted to reuse the old meaning of the Lima flag. My question is, what meaning? Rajarshi, if I'm not wrong, you decided to step up?
Yes.
And you said you had no choice. Stepped up, you did, and that is absolutely perfect. That's the answer. Well done there, Rajarshi. Gets you a +20 there. What a lovely finish. I did use a lot of adjectives to set the expectations for the quiz today and live up to the expectations they did. We will shortly see the final scores and identify the winners and qualifiers into the national final, but that will have to wait. For now, I have a question for the audience. All right, audience, here's a question for you, the final one for the day. So listen to me carefully. The 2013 Nobel laureate Robert Shiller, who's an American economist, academic, and best-selling author. He serves as a Sterling Professor of Economics at Yale University. And when it comes to the history of investment finance, which company does he consider to be the first ever blue chip stock in the modern sense? Which company does Nobel laureate Robert Shiller consider to be the first ever blue chip stock in the modern sense? Right, take 10 seconds and quickly head over to Twitter, give the answer on this very tweet. And we will, when you come back, we will continue. We have certain important announcements to make, some important people to welcome before we, declare the final scores and bring an end to this event. All right. I hope everybody is back with that answer. So at this point, it gives me great delight in welcoming our guest of honor, Mr. Rajeshwar Tripathi, Chief Human Resource Officer, Auto and Farm Sector, Mahindra and Mahindra Limited. Sir has a rich HR expertise through a pragmatic blend of strategy and execution, and in a career rich with experience in diverse industries and cultures and some illustrious accomplishments and awards. Sir advocates listening to the conscience as the source of one's own purpose in life. Sir, we are pleased to have you here and hear your thoughts. The stage is yours.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, my compliments for having participated and come this far in the Western region final for the quiz contest. So as we wait for the results, I wish all the participants all the best. And I'm sure the best of you would go to the national level. And my best wishes to all of you. I could actually see the last round because I had joined at 8:45, and I am pretty impressed and a little awed, the kind of knowledge which all of you have demonstrated. So all the best to you. Before I actually get on, I would like to first, join on behalf of the National HRD and the entire leadership in conveying my condolences, our condolences for the sad demise of our Chief of Defense Services, General Rawat, who died unfortunately in a chopper air crash today. Our sympathies and deepest condolences to his family members. He was a true soldier and a national patriot, as Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself has given a statement. So let's pray for his soul. Having said that, let's move on. First of all, welcome all the Ranchi chapter officials who have taken all this pain to organize this quiz, and especially Dr. Raman, who's the president of Ranchi chapter, who's also the leader for the Udaan quiz this year. Mr. Malik, Mr. Shaw, all the entire EC members of Ranchi chapter, Ajay Poonia, the Quizmaster, and of course all of you, the finalists. You've made the event. So thank you very much, and my compliments once again for having participated in true spirit. So and I'm very sure that the kind of pain which you guys have taken, because this has been in addition to your regular work. So thank you very much for having taken interest. This year, I think we broke all the records with 360 participants, which is all-time highest. And it has been a very, very successful event. Once again, compliments to the Ranchi chapter for having taken the lead. And all the best to all of you. Thank you very much, and over to you, Dhananjay.
Well, thank you so very much, sir. We're all pleased to have you here. Thank you for sparing your valuable time to be amidst us. Now, it is time for the big moment, the final look at the scoreboard here at the Udaan Business Leadership Quiz West Zone Final. First, the participants that missed out on being on the podium and of course, to eventually qualify for the national final. But each one of them receives a prize money of rupees 5,000 each. So here they are, finishing with a score of -5 is Shruti Menon from Sale Bhilai. Congratulations, Shruti, but unfortunately it wasn't your day today. Also finishing in tied 4th place are Francis Rodriguez from HDFC Life and Umesh Malayat from Sale Bhilai. Unfortunately, wasn't your day. You finished with a score of 0 each. And Nivesh, who started strong, unfortunately, towards the second half, not a lot of action coming from his end of the quarter. He finishes with a score of 15 and as a result finishes 3rd. But join me in putting your hands together for our 2 qualifiers and representatives of the West Zone in the national final, starting with second place. In second place, winning a prize of rupees 15,000 rupees, giving some fabulous answers in that last round. And might I take partial credit, you know, when I said that things will only look better for Rajarshi.
Sir, Ajay, can I say something?
Yes, please.
I think Rajshri is tied up with me for 15 points. Okay. Because he stepped up one and he had a minus in that Turkish thing, that carrying drunkard people and all.
Rajarshi, I'll clarify. So Rajarshi started out with minus 15. He started the first one with a plus 20. What answer was that?
He started with minus 20. He started with minus 20.
No.
He started with plus 20.
Ajay, I'm keeping score. No. So at the start of the last round, I was on minus 15, 1-5. I scored 20 on Premier Padmini.
Yeah, he got a Premier Padmini, took a plus 20. Then he got a minus
5 for the Turkish question.
He said step down. So he got a minus 5. And then he got a plus 20.
Nivesh, the scores are right.
So I reached 0 and I got a 20 on the last question.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Nivesh,
I'm keeping score.
The scores are right. I think Rajarshi is basically the second.
All right. Thanks, Nivesh, for accommodating, and challenges are perfectly all right. We like to conduct it in a fairly democratic manner. Right, Rajarshi, well done on that. Well done on finishing strong towards the end. I would like to take marginal credit when I gave that little pep talk towards the end of the third round that, you know.
Take all the credit. I'll keep the prize money.
No, I'm not talking about the prize money, just some credit. All right. Well done, Rajarshi. You finished second in the West Zone final and you qualify also in the national final. So I will see you again. And I will also see Shantanu Sharma from IIM Ahmedabad. Again, wonderful string of answers. Towards the second half, he completely rocked the show, gave almost all the answers. You can look at the margin of victory, 65 to Shantanu, 20 to Rajarshi, and 15 to Nivesh. So that's what was the difference towards the very end. Well done, Shantanu and Rajarshi. So Capgemini will see 2 participants in the national final. We had one from the East Zone. Now we have one from the West. And of course, one from IIM Ahmedabad joining the one from Rourkela Steel Plant. Thank you, contestants, for giving us a memorable show at the Udaan Business Leadership Quiz. And thank you again to all our sponsors. The Udaan Business Quiz is presented by Steel Authority of India Limited, National HRD Network, Rajarshi Chapter, and National HRD Network. Our associate sponsor, NTPC Limited, zonal sponsors, Tata Communications and SMS Group, national prize sponsors, Hexagon and MD India, and zonal prize sponsors, UPRNNL and Sarvesh Refractory. Congratulations to the winners today, Shantanu and Rajarshi. I will see you again at the national final. And congratulations to all the winners of the audience questions as well. It's fun to be tweeting answers for winning prizes, is it not? So after conducting back-to-back days of quizzing, we'll take a little breather and gather again on Monday, the 13th at 8 p.m. This time, we'll head to the Kingdom of the North in our quest for the smartest. On behalf of the Udaan organizing team, I appreciate you being with us. Until next week, be safe and take care of each other. Peace.